Hey guys, today I want to talk about my most anticipated releases for the second quarter of 2017. So these are the releases for April, May and June, and I am so fucking excited for these upcoming releases. I already had to kind of shorten the list because there were just so many, so I'm just gonna get right into it because there's quite a few we have to get through. So first we have Karela by Ashley Poston. This comes out April 4th, and actually I have already read this, but I still wanted to include it in this list because this is one of my most anticipated releases for like forever. I remember that I stumbled upon the premise of this book on Twitter before there was even a title or anything. So I've been waiting for this book for so long, and I did really like it. There will be a full video review of it, and obviously I will also include it in my March wrap-up, so you can look out for that, but yeah, as I said, just wanted to include it. Then we have The Upside of Unrequited by Becky Albertalli. This comes out April 11th. This is another book that I have already read actually, and the thing is, I wasn't like super anticipating it, but I just randomly, more or less, requested it on NetGalley because I've heard so many great things about the diversity in this book, and I was just like, whatever, I'm just gonna request it, and probably I won't get accepted anyway because like I've heard so much buzz about it. And then I did get accepted, and I read this book and I absolutely loved it. And I'm not gonna go into detail as to why I loved it because there will be a full video review just as for Karela, but I had to include it here because I'm just so excited for this to come out and for other people to read it. It's such a great, beautiful book, and I'm like still fangirling about it. I cannot stop thinking about it. It was so great, and it was the book that I read after A Conjuring of Light. So if that doesn't tell you enough about how much I loved it, that, you know, I loved it after reading A Conjuring of Light. It was a really wonderful book, and I just could not include it in here. Then we have Alex and Eliza by Melissa de la Cruz. This also comes out April 11th. This is a kind of YA retelling of the love story between Alexander Hamilton and Eliza Schuyler, and I'm just so fucking excited. I find it so amazing that we're getting a YA retelling kind of Hamilton in a way. I just love when like, well, the story obviously isn't new, when we just get a retelling of like newish media and something that's kind of a hype right now. I'm so fucking invested in Alexander Hamilton, so I'm very excited for this one. Then we have How to Make a Wish by Aisling Harry Blake. This comes out May 2nd. This is one where I definitely don't know too much about because the main reason as to why I'm interested in it is because this has a female protagonist that falls in love with a girl, and this is like what I just want right now. And she wants to audition for music school, which for me, as being a musical theater student, is always really interesting when someone wants to go in some kind of music or performing arts direction. And yeah, I'm just excited to see where the story is going, and I just want more queer romances. Then we have The Seafarers Kiss by Julia Ember. This comes out May 4th. All I know is that this is a queer retelling of The Little Mermaid, and that is honestly all I have to know. Like, this is definitely in my like top 10 of anticipated releases for the whole year. I am so fucking excited. I feel like I've been waiting for this my whole fucking life, and I just absolutely cannot wait. Then we have Battle Mage by Tara Matharu. This comes out May 9th, and this is the third and final book in the Summoner trilogy. I am so excited about this one. I read the novice before it even came out initially. This was the very first book that I ever got accepted to review on NetGalley, and so this is kind of very special to me. I'm still so interested in the world, and I definitely want to try and reread the first and second book before I go into this one. But I just really enjoyed the trilogy so far, and I just cannot wait to see how it all ends. Then we have Ramona Blue by Julie Murphy. This also comes out May 9th. This one has been getting lots of shit because it is a story about a girl that is a lesbian and she falls in love with a boy. It's kind of about like finding out that sexuality is more fluid than you might think, and it has just been getting lots of shit because people were like, oh, we don't need a story of a lesbian meeting a boy, and kind of, you know, it's kind of this trope of like, oh, you just need to have some dick, you know? I get it, but also I feel like this novel is just so important, and we just need stories like this as well. There is not only, oh, I think I'm straight and then I fall in love with a girl and it's that kind of sexual fluidity. It can be the other way around too, and these stories should be told too. It's important to tell these stories, so I am actually very much looking forward to it. I feel like in general it's just gonna be an interesting novel, even just to support the fact that I think we need novels like this. I want to read it. I just want to kind of go against all of the haters and kind of want to say this is something that I anticipate and that I appreciate. Then we have It's Not Like It's a Secret by Misa Zugura. This also comes out May 9th, and this is another one that I don't know much about because this is a YA contemporary romance with a queer main character, and that kind of sold it to me. I know this book did get some controversial things too, because there was something with a sensitivity reader where I think the sensitivity reader kind of pointed out some racism in the book. They kind of publicly talked about it on Twitter before the publishers or the author had a chance to change it. So I am definitely not put off by this book at all, because I feel like hiring sensitivity readers is just very important and very good, and I feel like in this case it was actually the sensitivity reader that kind of fucked up this whole situation, because it's just not what you do before the publisher or author has even a chance to do something about it. So I am definitely still interested in reading this book, actually even more because of that scandal, because I feel because I feel like I just want to support this book and the author and just hope to God that everything works out and the racism was dealt with. Then we have The Love Interest by Kel Dietrich. This comes out May 16th. This is another one of my like very much most anticipated releases. This is a YA dystopian where there's kind of spies that are trained to have people fall in love with them, and then there's this one girl that like two different fractions or whatever want to find out things about, and then two boys kind of get to know this girl and kind of want her to fall in love with them, but then actually these two boys end up falling in love with each other. Something like that. All I know is it's a YA dystopian. It seems like a very normal love triangle, but then it goes into the direction that I personally think we've all been waiting for. A queer love triangle and two boys falling in love, and I'm so fucking excited for this one, and I really hope it lives up to my expectations. I think I'm putting a lot of pressure on it because it's like something I've been wanting for so long, but I'm just excited. I'm being very optimistic about it. And then we have Lord of Shadows by Cassandra Clare. This comes out May 23rd, and this is the second book in the Dark Artifices trilogy. This is gonna be an important book for me because if I end up not liking it, then this will mean that I will basically probably drop the whole rest of the Shadowhunter novels. That's kind of sad, but that's also kind of just what I have decided. I really didn't like Lady Midnight. I'm not too much into the main characters. I'm not into the main romance. There are other side characters that I really care about, and obviously, you know, the characters that we have from previous series I really want to continue reading about, but Lady Midnight was just slow, and I wasn't very much into it. And I keep saying first books by Cassandra Clare are never really my thing, so I'm still having lots of hopes that I will end up really loving it. I'm not giving up yet. Clockwork Prince is my favorite book in the Infernal Devices trilogy, so who knows, I might end up really loving it. I would hope I do, but yeah. I'm just kind of interested to see what I think about it and how I will feel about just the whole Shadowhunter Chronicles in general after this book. And then finally we have Royal Bastards by Andrew Schwartz. This comes out May 30th, and I have to be honest, I do kind of know the basic plot of it, but it's kind of hard for me to explain it myself. It just sounds like a really interesting YA fantasy, and I'm just really excited for it. It has to do, obviously, with someone being a bastard, and they kind of want to, I think it's a girl, I think it's a female protagonist, but they want to rule the kingdom, and they kind of get together with just more bastards, and I think even some like actual like royal people, and there's some kind of intrigue. I don't know. I can't. I mean, the Goodreads synopsis for this is pretty long, but I'm gonna leave links to all of these down below anyway, so if you feel like you are interested in a YA fantasy with some kind of bastard storyline, then I think this might interest you, and you can check out the full synopsis on Goodreads, because I can't say it. I can't. It's too complicated. I'm not here for it. I'm just excited. And these were my most anticipated releases for the months of April, May, and June. As I said, it's quite a lot, and it's still not all of them. I always have like a Goodreads shelf of to be released and of most anticipated releases, so you can always check that shelf if you're interested in other things that I'm anticipating. But for now, I definitely feel like I am done with talking for the day. Let me know some of your most anticipated releases for the second quarter of 2017, and thank you so much for watching. I guess I'll see you soon. Bye!